What's up, YouTube? HPJ here, giving you guys another retro deck profile. Um, I've still been in the mood for retro deck profiles, and I figure why not do retro deck profiles on some decks that I've actually played. And one of them is actually Dragons. I have a couple of Dragon decks that I've made over the years that I played between, I want to say, 2010 to 20, I want to say 2012. Yeah, and then I mean, everybody's favorite popular dragon deck, of course, Dragon Rulers, which I didn't fully build, but I had versions of it. Um, so I'm not gonna beat around the bush anymore. This is Dragunity Dragon, as you can tell. And for those who don't know, Dragunities were came out in the tail end. They had a structure deck. They were part of Hidden Arsenal. You see a couple of new cards floating around. I know they just had that continuous spell, the Dragon Spear, which pretty much did what the Dragunity Winged Beast do, which is equip Dragunity type Dragunity monsters to Dragunity cards, and then they have their own certain effects. So, yeah, let's just get off the bat. I want to start off with Dragunity monsters. One of the main boss monsters Dragunities have are Dragunity Armed Leviathan. Leviathan can remove from play one face-up monster you control with Dragunity cards attached to it, equipped to it. When it's normal or social summon, you can select one dragon type monster equipped to Armed Leviathan, except for an Armed Leviathan. And when it is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can special summon one dragon. You can special summon a monster that was clipped to it from the graveyard. So the crazy combo that this card has, and for any of you guys, when I get to the monster next to Leviathan on the grid, that you can pretty much use the monster next to him to equip Leviathan with that monster. When that monster normally would get blown up, or another card effect would blow it up, he would blow up the field. Leviathan would come back on the field, and then Leviathan uses effect to get that monster, and it'll create a loop of pretty much resurrection. And with cards like that Red Eyes Metal Dragon you see over there, you really had easy access to putting cards on the board. Um, Dragunity Arms Maelstrom is pretty much a weaker version of Leviathan because he doesn't have the Reborn effect, but he does have the equipped Dragunity effect as of pretty much all the level 4 or higher monsters, especially the level 4 or higher dragons. Not level 4, level 3 or higher, because all the dragons either range from 1 to 3 or 2 to, or 6 to 8. Next is my favorite part of this archetype, the Winged Beast. We're going to start off with Dragunity Ducks. Ducks gain 200 attack and 200 attack for each Dragunity monster. Create your Dragunity card on the field. When he was normal summon, you select one level 3 or lower Dragunity type dragon type monster and equip it to him. The Dragunity dragon type monsters, who I'll get into in a moment, use their own abilities to pretty much summon themselves, destroy stuff. I know I talk a lot about Dark Spear when it comes to Harpies because he can summon a winged beast from the graveyard. So I would have figured it'd be Ducks, but Ducks and Legionnaire, the next monster I'll talk about, did stuff only when they were normal summon. So I guess it was really up to the dragons to equip themselves, which there were a few to give to either Legion. I don't know what that was. Oh, I know what that was. So ignore that. Yeah. So they just gave, I guess, Ducks and Legionnaire just those added abilities if they had monsters equipped to them, or the monster type, or the monster type cards were present on the field. So speaking of Legionnaire, let's talk about this. Legionnaire, when he was normal or so summon, When his normal summon, you select the dragon type Dragunity monster level 3 or lower, equipped to him. You send a Dragunity card in your selling trap zone to the graveyard and then target a face-up card your opponent control and destroy it. With the next monster, Ankles, you pretty much got a 2 out of 1 in terms of destruction. You probably wouldn't want to send this guy Phalanx to the graveyard off of a Legionnaire because you kind of want it equipped to a monster as soon as possible. That way, you didn't really have to. You can go into your synchro place with Phalanx. And I'll go this Phalanx right now. Phalanx level 2 dragon type tuner monster. When he's equipped to a monster, he can special summon himself. Um, pretty much Dragunities synchro spam the monster. And with the other Dragunity monsters in the extra deck, you really saw that a lot. Next to him is Ankles. Ankles, when he was equipped to a Dragunity monster, if he's sent to the graveyard, he can pretty much pop an extra card. Like I said, Ankles can pop while Legionnaire pop, and you can really clear off the board. The supporting cast, as you can tell, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon makes his appearance. I think this is the only time you saw Red Eyes Flare. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I'm sorry, not Red Eyes Flare. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon had 3. Because after this, he hit 1 real hard. Um, and he never saw a ban, but he never saw much play outside of dragons because that's all he really did was touch some dragons. Um, Red Eyes Wyvern, who unfortunately isn't going to make it in this version of the deck, but the Disaster Dragon, if I remember how that was built. I want to give some oaths to that because Wyvern took a long time to get reprinted. I think Wyvern is now a common from Joey's world, so it took a long period of time for Red Eyes Wyvern to show back up. So most dragon or most Red Eyes decks I know use both Red Eyes Darkness Metal and Red Eyes Wyvern as some outlets, but I think Red Eyes itself just evolved like most decks into either like most old school decks just into a really easy spam deck or a really easy control deck. Pretty much like Blue Eyes or Dark Magician when it comes to character theme. Oh, and Harpies, cause my LADD, very unique monster. LADD can be such a but she pretty much used LADD's effect to abuse Leviathan's effect, which was LADD would be equipped to Leviathan. Leviathan would get destroyed by a part effect. LADD would destroy the field because LADD was present on the field and he left the field, so he's being destroyed. Um, then you can target one monster in your graveyard and then special summon it. And the way it would, the loop, if I'm not mistaken, worked was Leviathan would get killed off. You special summon you equipped LADD to Leviathan. Then you would let LADD die. And then LADD could help Leviathan get back to the board, and then you just go through stuff like that. This isn't a bad combo. I think it's a great combo considering the fact that LADD outside of Frogs didn't really see much play. So it was nice to see him in a dragon oriented deck, and he uses the fact to, of course, get dragon type monsters. Next is Malefic Stardust Dragon. Malefic Stardust was only here really because it protected the field spell. And he was just a free beater. So, that's pretty much it for the monster. Sorry, my keyboard shit. I'm having really weird technical difficulties today, guys. Um, triple trade in and triple cards of consonants. Trade in, discard 1 dragon type monster, discard 1 level 8 monster, draw 2 LADD, Arm Leviathan, that extra extra Stardust if you didn't need it or you just didn't need Stardust in general. Cards of Consonance set a Dragon type tuner monster that had 1,000 or less attack from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2. Bane Links and Ackley's pre-setup because Foolish Variable was still at 1, so those were really helpful. in that sense. And then we have Dragon's Ravine. Before this card came out, both in the OCG and the CCG, they had to change the name from Dragunities Ravine to Dragon's Ravine. One because it would confuse Legionnaire. Dex's ability to game, so I think that's mainly why they changed it. Later adaptations of Dragon Dex abused the second effect, which was that it sent a Dragon type monster from your deck to graveyard, i.e., Dragon Rulers, who love to abuse this card like crazy. Um, and then of course you have the ability to add a level 4 Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So you go get Legionary, you go get Daxi, you go get Phalanx, stuff like that. And pretty much all you had to do was once a turn discard a card to activate one of those effects. And the last two spells are of course Giant Trunade and Foolish Burial. For the traps, the only trap in the deck, Royal Decree. This is pretty much just to help you deal with stuff like Skill Drain, which is still around, counter traps in case you didn't want to have to deal with them, Torrentials, Bottomlesses, Compulsory Activation Device. The only thing you really couldn't get over was a decent spell card. And I know towards the tail end, cards like Monster Reborn got unbanned, Dark Hole following it. But I think this deck pretty much crippled Till. We got Hereditary Dragons and we got what is it? Not Blue Eyes. Chaos. Yeah, Chaos Dragon. It was more of a chaos oriented style. And then of course the Infinite Dragon Rulers. Which you didn't think used Royal Decree. I think they cited it. But alright, so with that said and done, let's go to the extra deck. We have Dragunity Vajrayana. Vajrayana needed one Dragon Tuner and one non-tuner Winged Beast monster to make it. You equip the Dragon type monster in your graveyard, Dragunity monster to the graveyard, and then you can send that card to double its attack. You're not doubling its attack, you're gonna focus on synchro spamming for Dragon type monsters, especially with this deck, because that's pretty much what Vajrayana was. Just a synchro spam engine. You have Gay Bolg. Bolg had the ability where you could banish a Winged Beast to give it that Winged Beast monster to check. Bolg after a while didn't see much play because there was pretty much no real reason to banish stuff like Legionnaire and Dux because Dux Legionnaire didn't have enough really oomph to get over stuff. And as to say, a 19 beater, which they didn't have, and I think the only other Dragunities that were able to get it, I think, was Acolyte, who was pretty beefy, but he couldn't really use much of his own effect either. We have Dragunity Durg. Once a turn, could add a level 4 Winged Beast or Dragon type monster from your deck to your hand, and then discard a Winged Beast or Dragon type monster. So he is pretty much your Synchro Rhoda. Then we have Dragunity Trident. Trident could send up to 3 cards from that you control the graveyard to look at your opponent's extra deck and then send that number of cards equal to the ones you sent to the graveyard and send them to the graveyard. So it's pretty much a more constructive Winter Cherries, but Winter Cherries can look into the deck for other cards. They just look for specifics. We have Bacha. Bacha was really here not for his effect, but for the fact there was a little age Dragunity, and you can equip Phalanx too with its effect, and it's also something is grow off of the Phalanx. For Bacha, only gain 300 attack for each Dragunity card equipped to it when it was Synchro Summon. So not really much use out of that. So now let's go on to the rest of the Synchro lineup, and I think most of these monsters you guys should know. So we have Pre-Errata, Bionic Dragon Ice Barriers, Pre-Errata Goyo Guardian, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Red Red Dragon Archfiend, Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier, and the Trident Dragion. Trident Dragion was a unique monster. He needed one tuner, one tuner, one dragon tuner, and one non-dragon type tuner. He must be such a summon. He could be such a way. What you would do is you go for Barcha, and then you activate Phalanx's effect, synchro with the Phalanx, and make Trident. And then Trident could blow up your opponent's stuff in response to you having to blow up your stuff, which is perfectly fine. And then for each card that he destroyed, he would gain additional attack. I've never actually seen it. So, oh, sorry. And like, I think when I played Dragunities, I only made like one Trident Neptune, and I mean Trident Dragon, and it didn't go too far. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. It's a little lackluster because I had to really sit down and figure out what I ran and not what was good to run with this version. But don't worry, I will have more videos to come in terms of retro deck profiles. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and the future ones to come. Like, comment, and subscribe. Look around and see some of the other selections. And until next time, you guys, this is HBJ signing out. Take care.